Yo, 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 yo. Give me what I want. I said give me what I want. Hey, hey, give me what I want, mother flowers. Alright, so I'm going to do 2 reviews in one. So I did not go live last night after SmackDown Live because, well, quite honestly, I was tired as all hell. Work kicked my ass, and I got home. I watched the final hour of SmackDown, and then I rewatched what I left off on DVR, basically. And again, I could have done the live review there, but I was so tired from work, so I was like, fuck it. I'll do it tomorrow morning, which is today. And I ain't gonna lie to you guys, when I got home from work early morning, because I have 2 jobs. In case people are wondering, I have 2 fucking jobs. I get up every single morning from Tuesday all the way through Saturday at 3 a.m. to go to my morning job, which I start at 4 a.m. And I got home, and I was tired as hell. I literally crashed with my work clothes on. I think it happened. I don't know if it happened to you guys when you're that tired from work that you're like, fuck it. I'm just going to lay in bed and just crash and not give a flying fuck with your work clothes on, even with the shoes on. Like, I had my boots on still, laying in bed. I was that tired. So there was that, and then I had to do a couple errands, went to the gym, cooked dinner, and here I am now. I just got finished watching NXT like almost like an hour ago. And now here I am. I thought about, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to do 2 reviews in one. So what you're going to get tonight is the SmackDown Live review from last night, March 12, 2019. And today, you're going to get the NXT review from tonight, from 3/13/2019. All that in all right, guys? Hope you guys are happy, or hope you guys have a wonderful day. And thank you for tuning into the channel. As always, it's me. I'm the fat fuck himself. I'm Steve here. Back at it again with a new video, guys. Thank you all again for watching and tuning in live. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button down below. We are almost at 1,800 subscribers. I believe we're like 6 subs away. But then again, YouTube is being a bitch right now with these like number glitches and shit like that. So honestly, I don't have a fucking clue where we're at right now. I have no fucking clue where we're at right now with these numbers and shit. So for all I know, tomorrow morning I could have, 1,800, and the next day, boom, it goes away and shit. You just never fucking know. But if you're new here, guys, thank you all for tuning in, starting to the channel, all that fun stuff. You can follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven, where I tweet throughout all these shows, Raw and SmackDown Live, NXT, and all that fun stuff. So let's kick things off here, if you will, with SmackDown Live. Let's kick this shit off with SmackDown Live from last night, for March 12, 2019. SmackDown, I thought overall was a very, very good show. Hell, even NXT tonight was a good show. I'm going to get into all that fun stuff, alright? So, Kofi Mania is still running fucking wild, if you will. And we found out, again, SmackDown, it was the fallout from Fastlane. Shane gave us the explanation. McMahon gave Kofi an offer. And we finally had that confrontation in the ring between AJ Styles and Randy Orton, which I thought was pretty good. All right, that's my thoughts. You got your thoughts? Give me in the comment thread below your thoughts on both NXT and SmackDown Live from last night, NXT tonight, and all that fun stuff. All right, if not, let me know on Twitter at HeelSteven, like it says so on the screen. So the show kicked off, SmackDown Live that is, with Shane McMahon saying how he is the best in the world, how he was born that way, and that he enjoyed beating The Miz on Sunday. Every single moment of it, and he enjoyed it, especially doing it in front of his father, Miz's dad, who again was like the biggest Shane McMahon fan, right? Which is the reason why all this even happened in the first place, right? Between Shane and Miz, the co-besties and all that shit, right? So, which again, he's talking about all this stuff and how it felt awesome, but he wants to do it again on the biggest stage, which is WrestleMania. Which again, we've been talking about this for a while, since the Royal Rumble. you know, when they won the tag titles, that, oh my God, all this shit is going to lead up to WrestleMania. Shane and Miz, which should be a fun match. I ain't going to lie. Shane turning heel on this past Sunday was completely out of left field. I think we can all agree on that, right? Completely out of left field. No one saw it coming, right? It was random as shit, but I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy the triangle choke that he put on Miz, but I enjoyed the whole thing about it, the rest of it. And I look forward to seeing where they go with this. Miz was not on SmackDown literally last night. So let's see what happens here. Let's see, you know, where this will end up. Again, WrestleMania is almost, I want to say 3 weeks away, almost 4 weeks away, but you kind of get the idea. Fun little fact, I am going to WrestleMania. I am going to NXT TakeOver New York. Myself and Walter, we're going. It's going to be a blast. So just you guys know, because you're wondering, are you going to WrestleMania? Are you going to WrestleMania? Well, now we are, mother flowers. So then we get the first match of the night. We get the eight-person tag match. We have Aleister Black, Ricochet, and the Hardy Boys versus Rusev, Shinsuke Nakamura, and the Bar, a.k.a. the League of Nations 2.0. That's essentially what they were. You got an Irish, a Swiss, a fucking Japanese guy, and a Bulgarian. God damn it, you have the fucking League of Nations all over again. And don't be surprised they fucking add Andrade to this fucking mix. I'm calling it now. They're going to do that down the road. God help us all. I hate every single one of you. I kid. All 8 men, again, they fought to a no contest because the New Day ran down and cleared the ring. They cleared the fucking ring. Because, again, they're angry. They're upset. Kofi Kingston got fucking got. He got at fucking Fastlane. They promised him a championship match, right? Vince McMahon said, oh, it's going to be a triple threat match, pal. And the next thing you know, swerve. It was a 2-on-1 handicap match. Kofi got his ass kicked, and the internet lost his shit that day. And also, during this whole thing, the Usos cut a promo on the entire SmackDown tag team division. And they talked about facing potentially the Hardy Boys. I would say, honestly, that's a very good WrestleMania match. The Hardy Boys versus the Usos. A match we haven't really seen when you think about it, right? I mean, you're not going to do the New Day of Big E and Xavier versus the Usos again. You're not doing that. Or the Usos versus the Bar. Honestly, I don't want to see Usos versus Rusev and Nakamura. Look how the might is fucking falling with that one. But the point of the matter is, it's a match we have not seen. And I think, honestly, with the Hardy Boys now being back, even though they're not woken or broken and shit, why the fuck not at WrestleMania? And besides, they signed a new deal, right? And let's see where they go with that. I'm looking forward to seeing it. But that was that. Randy Orton came down to the ring, cut a promo on AJ Styles. And I thought, honestly, this was, one of the highlights of the show. Hands down, in my opinion, this was, in my opinion, one of the highlights of SmackDown Live between the confrontation of AJ Styles and Randy Orton, both in the ring, finally. They're in the ring. And Orton talks about how AJ Styles, right? You know, they both started almost at the same time. Granted, Styles was not in WWE when Orton started, but when Orton started, Styles was wrestling in armories and bingo halls or shit like that. And now in 2005, Orton was, again, winning the world title, becoming the youngest champion in WWE history, wrestling Undertaker WrestleMania, while AJ Styles was tanning with Dixie Carter, which I thought was funny as shit, right? And taking all these jabs, you know, how he was wrestling in bingo halls on the independent circuit, and how with his indie pals, and how Orton was making a name for himself in WWE. How SmackDown Live is not the house that AJ Styles built, it's the house that Randy Orton's built. Okay, he's been there from the very beginning and all that stuff. And again, I enjoyed it. Because you think about it, there's some truth into that. There is some truth. There is. Not our truth, but there is some truth into that. Right? And then out came AJ Styles. He was impressed that Orton knew a lot about his career outside WWE. And then Styles ran down every single thing that Orton's been part of: Evolution, Legacy, Rated RKO, the Wyatt family, and how in all of that he was babysat. He was, you know, always relying on someone else, right? How his RKO is a poor excuse of a diamond cutter. And then in response, Orton, you know, took jabs at how him and his indie buddies took the Too Sweet, which everyone fucking has killed to death. I'm sorry. If you see me at a wrestling show and you do this, I am not gonna fucking retaliate. I'm not gonna follow up. I'm sorry. A lot of you dorks have killed this. Have made it look unfucking cool. I'm just saying right now. Alright? That being said, I enjoyed the segment. And again, it's basically it's Orton as everything that represents WWE, right? Everything that's, again, what I guess the casual viewer would identify, I guess, with WWE. Versus here's AJ Styles, who, again, has been everywhere, right? Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, New Japan, you name it, right? He represents the hardcore, smarky fan out there, right? It's, again, the clash of two styles here, no pun intended. And all this leading up to AJ Styles challenging him to a match at WrestleMania. Orton has an answer, but let's be real about it. That's the match they're going with. For, well, Styles and Orton. And I'm all for it. Believe it or not, I'm honest to God, I'm looking forward to that match. I think it should be a very, very good match. And I think, honestly, you give those guys maybe like 15 minutes out there, it should be some really good stuff. But again, I enjoy just the counter of back and forth between both Orton and Styles. Again, Orton represents everything that's not indie wrestling, right? He represents all his WWE. He was made, bred in WWE. You never really heard Orton like wrestling on the indie circuit early in his career or going to Japan or shit like that. While here's Styles, who's been everywhere, and now he's in WWE, even though he's been there for years now. So again, I am enjoying where they're going to go with that. We see Daniel Bryan, who left Vince McMahon's office, and saying that he spoke with the chairman about Kofi Kingston, and also proceeded to book him in a tag team match with Rowan against Kevin Owens and Mustafa Ali later on in the night. So he went in there, talk about Kofi, and then out of nowhere, again, it's like, hey, pal, just so you know, I'll put you in a tag team match, pal. Because fuck it, why not, right? At this point in juncture. Why the fuck not? Try to check the audio real quick. See if it's working, and it is. And it is working, by the way. We then get the tag team. We had Rey Mysterio and R-Truth in a tag team match versus Samoa Joe and Andrade. I thought this match was pretty good. All four guys who got their shit in. It was very tag team friendly when you notice it. It's very, very like tag team heavy, this show, right? Mysterio pinned Samoa Joe. He pinned him, and he pinned him with a victory roll. So he pins the champion, and Joe's upset about this shit, right? So after the match, Joe laid out both R-Truth and Andrade. Now, there was talks of, oh my god, maybe John Cena versus Samoa Joe at WrestleMania. But I think after the way things went tonight, I think they're going to, last night, I keep thinking it's fucking Tuesday when it's not. They're probably going to do, most likely, Samoa Joe and Rey Mysterio. Now, granted, kind of sucks because you leave Andrade out of the equation. The last thing I want to have happen for Andrade is him being placed in the fucking Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I think that would be so fucking dumb. That would be stupid. Would not make sense. But again, it's WWE for you in this situation, right? It's what they fucking do. So hopefully, again, we'll see what happens. But there's that. Also on the show, we had Asuka versus Sonya Deville. I thought this match sucked. I didn't give a shit about it. You had Mandy Rose on the apron, and they did the whole repeat from what happened on Sunday with Mandy Rose, where this time it was Sonya who got tripped on the fucking apron or the ring skirt, whatever, And there was that Oscar one with the fucking Oscar lock and DeVille tapped out. We had Becky Lynch, Stone Cold Becky Lynch, the man that is, right? The fucking man who got on the microphone and talked down both Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey. She claims that she is in Ronnie's head, right? Again, to talk about her opportunity, getting the main event spot at WrestleMania, and then out came Charlotte Flair, cut her off, and said fans support her because they feel sorry for Becky Lynch. And then Lynch went on to say that Charlotte held a division for 40 years before she took it over, that being Becky. And now she's main eventing Mania. Listen, I've been saying this shit for weeks. They're telling you that these women are headlining, they're the main event of WrestleMania. They are. They're telling you it right there. They're main eventing WrestleMania. So why are people saying, oh, it should be Brock and Rollins, this and that? It's going to be Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda. But overall, I thought the segment was okay. Nothing go crazy for it, even though, yes, they beaten this feud to fucking death. They have. All right. We get the tag team match, Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus Kevin Owens and Mustafa Ali. It was a fun little match. They all went out there again. Is the same stuff they did on Sunday as well, if you will. And then Rowan pinned Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali went for a jump up the top turnbuckle, assuming it was Daniel Bryan. And then he, not realizing that Rowan made the tag, and he landed literally on Rowan after Rowan hit the Iron Claw for the win. So there you go with that. Then we get to the end of the show, right? Vince McMahon making an offer to Kofi Kingston regarding the WWE Championship. And McMahon comes out and he talks about how he had an opportunity for Kofi to earn a WWE title shot at WrestleMania. People were booing him, obviously. People were chanting Kofi. He talked about how people don't listen. He did say that there was going to be a triple threat match at Fastlane, and he delivered on that. But he never said anything about Kofi being in that match. And then the next thing you know, the New Day interrupt McMahon. And they were serious. There were no pancakes being thrown, no hippy hoppy, no skippy dippy. Just straight seriousness of the fucking New Day. And Big E got on the mic, and again, they all were serious about this shit. They interrupted Vince, and they talked about it with all the respect. And they've done everything that they've asked, that the WWE's asked from them, right? Never made an excuse, but they feel like they're doing Kofi dirty here. And I'll say this. I think who stood out more in this shit, believe it or not, was Big E. I thought Big E stood out more here than Kofi did in a way. In some regard. Not completely, but in some regard. Okay? And again, just Kofi making his claim. Even though McMahon did say as well that, you know what? Kofi's talented. He is a great talent to have. He's done a lot of great stuff. But the reality is this, and I kind of agree too. Kofi Kingston will one day go in the WWE Hall of Fame. But he's not going to go in by himself. He's going to go in as part of the New Day act, which is true. Let's keep it real about it. Let's keep it 100 here. Kofi Kingston is a great fucking talent, all the fuck you want, okay? But he's not a guy who I will put in the Hall of Fame by himself. It was like Stevie Ray. Like fucking Stevie Ray. Stevie Ray's in the Hall of Fame. He's going into the Hall of Fame because of Harlem Heat. He's not going in because of himself. He's not going in because, oh, you're part of the NWO Black and Gray in 2000 and shit like that. No. He's going in because you're part of a fucking team that's Harlem Heat. All right? And again, if you're a Kofi diehard out there, sorry to break it to you. So, all this back and forth. Kofi, again, talking about how he's missed weddings and birthdays. He missed his son, his child missing their first tooth and all that because his love for the business, right? And then this leads to McMahon to finally, again, make the offer. So for this, out comes Randy Orton. Out came Samoa Joe. Out came The Bar. And out came Rowan. So all this, Vince said, you got to beat all of them. And if you beat all of them, then you go on to WrestleMania and get your championship match. So basically, Kofi Kingston next week has to rerun the Gauntlet again. So they're making this shit Mission Impossible for Kofi Kingston. And I love it. I love all the obstacles. I love where all this is getting to. Because again, it's making you have more sympathy for Kofi Kingston. Just when you think, hey, he's finally going to do it, they put more shit on top of more shit just for him to overcome. So, again, the writing's on the wall. This fucker's going to go to WrestleMania. It's going to happen there. All right? But, again, I thought SmackDown was a very, very good show. I enjoyed it for what it was. And, again, you know, compared to Raw, SmackDown was the better show. But that being said, guys, give me your thoughts on SmackDown Live, if you enjoyed it or not. Now let's get into NXT. From tonight, NXT took place, and we had, overall, I thought it was a very, very, you know, enjoyable show, to say the least. Not going to say, oh my god, this show was fucking fire, bro. Had a good kick-ass main event. We got also a very good, I guess, segment, if you will, with Shayna Baszler. But at the same time, some breaking news came out. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to, you know, get the big, because I know there's people out there that are so offended by spoilers. But it's out there. They announced what's going to take place for the tapings, for the spoilers, if you will. What's going to go down at TakeOver New York regarding the NXT title. And again, it's a good choice. I look forward to seeing the match because, again, I'm going to be there live. But let's get to NXT tonight, okay? NXT for March 13, 2019. We had the semifinals of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. And again, I thought the show, NXT, was a very, very enjoyable show. Guys, give me your thoughts in the comment threads, or if not on Twitter, your thoughts on NXT if you enjoyed the show or not. So, we kicked things off here with the first semifinal match of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. We had the Forgotten Sons versus Mustache Mountain. Again, the semifinal of Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. I thought overall it was a fun match. Nothing to go crazy for, if you will. Tyler Bate, you know, showed his strong boy style, if you will. Had both guys from the Forgotten Son, Wesley Blake and Jay Cutler, on his shoulder, did an airplane spin. They worked on Trent Seven's knee. It feels like that's the one thing they always do. That's like his big Achilles heel. They work on Seven's knee. Every single person that wrestles him and shit in NXT. And it looked like, it really did, that, oh my god, Mustache Mountain is going to win. Until Gunner, because again, I know him as Gunner. For me, he'll always be fucking Gunner, okay? I'm sorry. Got involved in some way, and that caused a distraction. The next thing you know, the Forgotten Sons got the win here. And they, again, it's one of those things where they hit their finisher, and now they're on their way to the finale of the Dusty Tag Team Classic. So there's that, and wondering now who are they going to face later on in the night. Well, for 2 weeks from now, because they announced that the finale will be in 2 weeks from now in NXT. We had a confrontation backstage between Matt Riddle and Adam Cole. So Matt Riddle being interviewed by Kathy Kelly, and Kathy Kelly asked Matt Riddle about why did he, I guess, interrupt Velveteen Dream, and he basically said that, hey, he's here not only to wrestle, but to also win championship. And he wanted to see if the NXT North American Championship came in bro size, which I thought was funny. And then gets interrupted by Adam Cole. Adam Cole talking about why does he think that, you know, that Matt Riddle deserves to be a contender, this and that. And they're just hinting it's going to happen down the road. A match between Adam Cole and Matt Riddle, which should be a very, very fun match. I'm going to say it right now. I think those two guys can go out there. And again, it's about the next step, for, I think, for NXT. Like, you know, when Gargano and Ciampa eventually, Black and Ricochet are gone, you got those people that are still, you still got Adam Cole, you still have Matt Riddle that are going to carry the barrier, I guess, the flag for NXT. So, again, I thought it was very, very good, the segment. And again, they're teasing that match, and I look forward to seeing it when it happens. We then get Shayna Baszler. My bad. We have Shayna Baszler on commentary, right? To see the match between Io Shirai and Bianca Belair, a #1 contenders match where the winner will face Shayna Baszler at TakeOver New York. And the match, for what it was there. But you had, again, Shayna on commentary. And she decided to leave for the announce table, get in the ring, and attack both Io Shirai and Bianca Belair. Out came Kairi Sane. And again, it's this thing where Shayna Baszler just choked out every single woman in that ring. She started with Bianca. She went to attack Io Shirai. Out came fucking Kairi Sane. She got choked out, and then eventually Io Shirai got choked out. It's showing her dominance. Basically, no one can stop her, right? No one can beat her. There's no competition left, right? So then you see, after commercial break, if you will, because they do have these commercial breaks, right, at NXT. Kathy Kelly went to interview her, and she finds out, that being Shayna Baszler, that apparently William Regal announced that TakeOver New York, Shayna Baszler will defend her NXT Women's Championship against Bianca Belair, Io Shirai, and Kairi Sane in a fatal 4-way. A multi-person match, I think at this point is fine. You want to stack the odds against Shayna Baszler here, and let's see what happens from there. Let's see what happens. We then get the main event of NXT tonight. You had Ricochet and Aleister Black versus DIY, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. And I thought this was a very, very fun match. Probably one of the best matches of the week for WWE. Just everything you could imagine. This could have easily been a finale. This could have easily been a takeover match, right? If you want it to be that way, right? And this shit just went back and forth, balls out. Just everything you can imagine, right? And it's funny because both Gargano and Ciampa came out to the DIY shirts again. They played the DIY music. They were wearing DIY shirts. They had DIY gear. Oh my God, DIY is back together. Holy crap, full force. Who's going to stop them now? Who the fuck is going to stop these guys, right? And then during the match, we get to the spot where Gargano fucked up his knee. Gargano fucked up his leg. And he just sitting there. And Ciampa's concerned. So Ciampa's like to sit there. He'll finish the match. And unfortunately for Ciampa, he got hit with the Black Mass kick, and then Ricochet hit the 630 splash for the 1-2-3. So Aleister Black and Ricochet are heading to the finale, and they will meet the Forgotten Sons 2 weeks from now on NXT programming, and the winner will face the freaking God damn, having a fucking the War Raiders at TakeOver New York for the tag titles. Also, we found out early in the show that next week, obviously, it's going to be Keith Lee versus Dijaka, which will be a very fun match too. But that's your Dusty Classic finale. It's going to be in 2 weeks from now. The Forgotten Sons versus Ricochet and Aleister Black. And at the end of the match was over with, right? Yeah, Candice LeRae show up to check up on Johnny Gargano, because Gargano was just still sitting there on the outside. And again, it looked like he had a leg injury. He fucked up his knee. Ciampa goes on to check on him. They help him up, and they're walking, I guess, towards like the entrance area, whatever, right? And then Gargano falls. Ciampa gets him back up. Candice LeRae leaves, and you can just smell it, like, oh my God, they're gonna fucking do it. Here we go again. Ciampa goes to throw Ricochet into the LED board, but Gargano counters it. He stops halfway. They stop halfway, and Ciampa's in disbelief here because, again, what the fuck? And Gargano tricked him. He was faking the knee injury the whole time, and instead he reverses it and throws Ciampa into the LED board. Everyone goes crazy. Then he does a super kick at him. Candice LeRae's all smiles. This whole time, Johnny Gargano wasn't really hurt. Johnny Troll, if you will. So basically, Johnny Wrestling is back. But the reality is, be real about it, it's Johnny Troll. That being said, too, though, okay? As much as I'm happy for what they went with there, okay, the build-up now to take over New York, on the back of your mind, and on the other side of the coin, it kind of sucks because we now know what's happened with Tommaso Ciampa. He injured his neck. He's going to be out for God knows how long. He basically now vacated the NXT title. They did announce at the recent set of tapings for NXT what's the plan going to be for TakeOver New York. We now know the main event. Well, I know the main event. Again, I'm not going to say it because I know there's people out there that are very, very, sensitive with spoilers and shit like that. So I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. But we now know the main event for TakeOver New York regarding the NXT title. And again, with tonight's episode of NXT, with the ending of it, it kind of sucks because you know what happened with Ciampa. You know for a fact that, yes, Gargano and Ciampa for the championship would have been like the conclusion now to the story of Ciampa and Gargano. The finale, that is, right? And I was looking forward to seeing that match. Not just because I'm going to be there live to see it, but more also because, okay, you follow their journey, right? You follow their journey. They're a part of DIY. And then Gargano Ciampa snap. Ciampa goes away. Gargano is, again, trying to be himself again. Johnny Wrestling. He's in this losing streak. Gets a winning streak again. Goes for the championship. Ciampa comes back. They have these series of matches, right, at takeovers, right? And again, all this leads to here now, right? They were teasing, they were back together, and then now here we go. Johnny Wrestling is back. And the stage is set, basically, right? Gargano, Ciampa in New York for the title. But at the same time, there's people that will say, and again, you could be also in the minority here if you want to say, oh, maybe it's a blessing in the sky. Because, yes, you can make the argument that, it does have the Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn vibe, where they kind of did it. But at the same time, they'll say this too. With Ciampa now being gone, I mean, you could still do that. I mean, I don't see Gargano winning the title because I feel like he's main roster bound, right? You debuted him on TV, right, on Raw and SmackDown. It's just, okay, you might as well just bring him up. I think this feud will carry on to the main roster. More likely, yes, you could do that. But it sucks. But I do like the alternative that's going to happen, though, for TakeOver New York. And I cannot wait to be there live WrestleMania weekend. So, guys, give me your thoughts in the comment threads below. Your thoughts on NXT tonight. Did you enjoy the show and all that stuff? Did you enjoy SmackDown Live from last night? Let me know as well. We'll be back tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. We'll be back Friday, because Friday we will be premiering our next installment of the WrestleMania retro reviews. We'll be reviewing WrestleMania 23, and this Sunday is the return of Around the Point, our new Sunday show here on the YouTube channel. And again, we're giving you reasons why you should sub to this channel right now. Subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. And as always, guys, hate, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, guys, it's me, it's Steve, and I'm out like Janice Titties, guys. Peace out, everyone. God damn it, yo. WrestleMania weekend's gonna be here any moment now, any time now, if you will. And all these shows that I'm going to, right? God damn it, the amount of weed I'm gonna smoke that fucking weekend. It's gonna be fucking lit. Believe me.